Welcome back to South Beach,
Well
Family
done.
Office Forum. I'm here with Deepak.
How you doing?
Awesome. And
Good to
listen,
be here.
if you haven't listened to his music,
I want to
you
pass
will.
it over to the right.
You guys
So
rock.
Jay Bradley, no
Thank you.
You were just up there with Scott Page, my buddy.
Old friend of mine, over a decade.
Having
Great
so much
guy,
fun.
great human, great thinker.
I've been going a little
So-
bit deeper into your work.
My first question for you is,
The fact
why are you here?
built
Why am
Yeah,
I here?
not here.
CTO from
Like on Earth.
1985.
Well,
when
yeah.
I was born.
I mean, I come from a place of service. So I think being in service, to think about how to, I always, that phrase, like when you walk in a room, can you make the space better than you found it? But imagine that on a scale level. Like, can you make the world better than you found it? Make humanity better than you found it? Make a person's day? And so I feel like, through music, through conversation, through just being someone to just help someone. So I see a piece of trash on the street, I pick it up. So musically, that it's like, oh, let me write a song that could transform the world. Let me think like Michael Jackson or Bob Marley, these guys that write anthems. And these anthems change the world. And so I do my music in 432 Hertz. It's a healing frequency.
Oh, you do it all?
All of my music you heard just now was in 432
That is
Hertz.
so cool.
Scott came up. He's like, oh, I got to tune down to this. I'm like, yeah.
I saw him do that.
Yep,
You said
yep,
that. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And so, what that is that gets into an actual harmonic frequency of where resonance used to be before systems sort of took over. And so,
So
it's taking
let's-
it back to the old school, if you want.
Let's go deep into that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Vibration,
stuff. So,
vibration.
vibrational medicine
Yes.
is what you're communicating.
Yeah, and on that note, just to finish that thought, there's also the lyrics. So we have a combination of a lot of different positive sciences. We have the vibration itself. We've got lyrics, which are affirmations. So we're creating mantras, like India, the word mantra or mantra, as we pronounce it in the West. And then you've got the frequency in the song, and then you're making it accessible through mainstream, catchy melodies so that it can actually hit the mass, like a Trojan horse to have healing hit the masses. That's what I'm working on.
So let me translate it in the way that I'm hearing this.
Yep.
So through the tone, through the frequencies, you are setting the stage where the body now is more naturally aligned in frequencies
And more open to receive,
and more open to receive.
harmonic resonance.
And then you chant the mantras in with
Yep.
your lyrics.
Yep. It's like "Together We Will Rise" or "Let the Freedom Ring" or all these different type of lyrics you want to sing along with. Which if you get the song in your head, like Michael Jackson had "Heal the World," Bob Marley had "One Love," the Beatles. These are mantras. So we're in that time now where the world's in division, things are polarized. There needs more of that. We've had in the '60s, we've had different eras.
Yeah.
We had Michael Jackson in the '80s and
Where
'90s.
is it now, right?
Well, I feel like there's a calling for it, and I feel like something came through, and I feel like there's a lot of other artists out there, hopefully, that will receive the calling. I can just be one of many to just bring another, new renaissance, if you will, to society through healing, through arts, through politics, through all these different mediums that can create change, through cryptocurrency, through BitBasel, art. There's so many different mediums to reach the world. I'm involved in health and wellness, biohacking, and politics, and bringing music to these arenas, and also then educating, because I do a lot of science and all the kind of, my background's in science and math and technology as well.
That's why. Okay.
Yeah. I did pre-med and pre-law, did finance. But I became,
just that.
yeah,
Okay.
and then became a musician full time, which is like my Trojan horse to reach the masses, and then be like, oh, by the way, you can reduce your cortisol levels in 30 days by doing breathing exercise every day, for example. Like simple things like that can heal the planet, because cortisol and stress is like the #1 killer beyond all the poisons and stuff in the world.
So listen, Deepak, this interview is about you, not about me. But sometimes I want to talk about me a
Please.
little bit, just so we can kind of cut to the chase.
Yeah.
Because you never know really who you're talking to.
Sure.
So my nickname, given to me many years ago, is the Shaman of Wall Street.
Nice.
So bilingual. My mission and our mission is about raising human consciousness, and I've been a journeyer and practitioner of that my whole life.
Nice.
So I just wanted to kind of get to that level with
We're on the same
frequency.
page.
Get it.
We're on the same page.
So what I love about what you're doing. So first of all, to the listeners, I got to experience without the left brain side of this.
Yes.
It's really good shit. Your music is awesome.
Thank you.
And so I felt it viscerally. And you saw me out there.
Yeah.
I wasn't dancing. Don't worry, honey. So, it's my wife. She doesn't.
Then I didn't do my job yet. Next time he's gonna be dancing.
All right, tonight.
There's more coming.
Tonight.
We got a big jam tonight around 5:30.
Love it. All right. So it's kind of a joke because my wife says when I dance, she looks at me and she goes, "Don't."
Come on. You got to encourage
Come on, Yvette.
expression. You got to
Exactly.
encourage
All right.
expression.
Even if it's this type of expression. She's a good dancer. So
Nice.
she can say that.
Will take us
So
300
the
years.
science,
Yes.
brilliance of what you're delivering.
compared to
Holy
current
shit.
technologies.
So let's go backwards a little bit.
Yeah.
Tell me about your left brainness.
Sure.
Tell me about your
Sure,
journey
because
in
like
science
it's
and medicine.
totally a lot of both. Like the music
'Cause I
all
love
came
that
through
too.
feeling,
Yeah.
right? All the songs. I don't have a theory background in music. I'm fully based on feel, channeling. But then the left brain part of it is very much, math, logic. I grew up first generation Indian. My dad's a NASA guy, so I grew up studying. I was doing, algebra at 4 years old. I was doing calculus at 11 years old. So that side of the brain is problem solving, right? Problem solving skills, logic, figuring out how to solve a puzzle. Well, the world is a big puzzle. Humanity is a big puzzle, but then we need the heart to actually solve the puzzle. So you have to balance the right brain. Because if you're too cerebral, you might have a bunch of theoretical ideas that may not be able to reach the people, because you got to open people up through the heart. And so that's where the music comes in. That's where the message comes. That's where the passion comes in. But also without that, without the grounding, without the vessel, that's why it's a balance between divine masculine, divine feminine.
Right.
The left brain, the structure is the masculine, and the feminine is the emotion.
In the age of Kali, to come here and get a little
Exactly.
balance back in, right?
So we're in Kali Yuga right now, which is an age of chaos. And so there's an intentional imbalance of those sides. And so if we each kind of embody bringing that back, we can bring back the structure so that there's a place for the heart. But without the structure, then the heart is like a water puddle on the ground. So.
And I think you'll appreciate this. My book that's coming out in 6 days is about, it's called The World Doesn't Need You, with the NT crossed out.
Yeah.
We have a couple copies here, only a few because it has now yet, but I'd love to give you one.
Nice. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I think you'll really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And my point here is not about pitching my book here with you. It's about the fact that, we're entering an age of the Kali age, which you and I can talk about.
Sure.
Which I know viscerally.
Sure.
Intellectually, it's hard to even get a hold of it if you're there.
Yeah.
You know the vibration of it. Which is a wrathful, amazing goddess who will take anything that's in the way and destroy it.
Sure.
And often that's very misunderstood by a lot of
Right,
people.
because people think destruction's bad, but also if you're destroying what's not serving you, isn't that what we want?
And usually those things are hidden and in denial. So that level of energy to come through and bust it through. So my point here is, though, everything we've done in the masculine side so far in all of our structures as a culture, GDP, for instance.
Sure.
Now we introduce AI, and we're going to scale ourselves off a cliff if we don't bring in that heart, we don't bring in that resonance, we don't bring in that purpose, right?
Yep.
So all of what you're doing is so critical. And I'm fascinated with who you are, because I love the humility of, having that brilliance, but just going out and being an artist, right? But as an artist, you are massively creating so much that you've done from a science side as well as the art side, and just expressing that in raw abundance to people who don't need to process it. You can feel it because you've done all that work.
Thank you very much.
Sure. Yeah.
I
think it's like it's staying in the beginner's mind, staying in curiosity, staying in the question, not knowing anything, and always being in discovery, like a child, right? Like a child's always looking and seeking, and I feel like that's what I want to embody, and I also want to encourage that, like more of that. Because as adults, we can think we know, and we can also get jaded. We can get caught up in the mind and the thoughts of the world, and often that can block possibility because we think we know. And I think if you unlearn, I think we can open up the not knowing, and from the not knowing, there's so much more discovery, so much more excitement, but also more joy. And that becomes less attached. It becomes less that we're stuck in a box of what we think something is, and it's more open to what we may not know that we don't know. And I feel like in there's so much more fun and so much more joy. And so I just want to share that, want to be that. And I think the music allows me to do that, because I do have a lot of this heady cerebral stuff, which I worked through for years with meditation and breathing. And now I feel like I'm freeing myself up from that. It's in a place where I'm not caught up in my mind, not caught up in the head. I think everyone can relate to being wherever they are in their life. And if you're out there, if you're in your head, I've certainly been in my head. There's a lot of ways to get out of it. Like listening to a good song can loosen us up, going to work out, but like even breathing and meditating and things like that can really like slow the mind down, which is the clouds. And when the clouds open up, the sun comes back out. And when our inner sun shines, I think we're at our most pure, divine, childlike, beginner, baby self. And then like we can be more
better than that.
And it's more healing, and we can heal the world and heal ourselves. And it's like a win-win-win. It's a triple win, and that's like It's not a zero-sum game at that point. It's just everyone's a winner. You know, when you're being your childlike self, everyone's a winner.
There's nothing better.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why usually, even last night, we were at a very nice high-end function.
Sure.
And there weren't enough seats, so there was a few extra people there. They were bringing out a table.
Yeah.
And I was kidding but it's true. I always get put at the kids' table
Sure. Exactly.
because that's how I roll.
That's how I roll. I'm at the kids' table.
And it
I'm staying there.
Exactly.
I'm staying at the kids' table.
It took a lot of unlearning
Yeah.
to get there.
And the unlearning helps because then we can, you know, when we get rid of it, we get the clean canvas, infinite possibility comes in. You know what I mean?
It's like that beautiful story of the professor going to find this master in the Himalayan mountains.
Right.
And he's searching and asking everybody as a student's research. Anyway, he finally gets to the master up in the caves. And the master's sitting there, and he's sitting there finally in his presence. And the master says, "Would you like some tea?" And he says, "Yes." He starts pouring his cup of tea. You've heard the story, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And the professor's like screaming. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing? The cup is full. The water is pouring all over the floor." He said, "Yes, it is. Come back when it's empty."
Dang. That's it. That's deep.
Yeah,
Empty cup.
it is, right?
Empty cup gives you room to fill it. And again, that's where from there, you know, like I said, my background was neurobiology, physiology, criminology, criminal justice, finance, and all these things. And I felt like the cup was filling. And I felt like I needed to do work to then empty the cup out, which doesn't get, but we're not.
What was your breakthrough? Like, what's that moment? I call it third seasons. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think
when something comes and kicks our ass.
you know, it's been from childhood, lots of different versions of breakthroughs.
Of course.
You know, like as a child, being told, I was an only child growing up in America, first generation Indian.
What's
that?
Where in America?
I grew up in Maryland.
Maryland.
Yeah, I was born in Baltimore, grew up in Columbia, Maryland, and I felt like I was always the oddball kid. You know, it was a mix of, you know, about a lot of white kids, a lot of black kids, and I was the only Indian kid, right? So that doesn't mean anything, but it was almost like, who am I, where do I fit?
It's real.
Right, but that's part of childhood is where do I fit? And so I just started, you know, doing a lot of like external, like always looking outside. I'm gonna be like them if I have things, if I'm the one with the video games, if I'm the one who knows things, then I'll fit in. And I think that built strong suits. You know, we build strong suits out of insecurity. And so I built all these strong suits out of my insecurities to fit in, which gave me skills. So I just acquired skills. I was like, if I'm the best at something, then they'll like me. And later on, of course, I knew that's all made up illusion. But
Whoa, hold on.
I like the skills.
Hold on. Time out, because number one,
It worked out.
Number one, I get that because
Yeah.
you build the skills. But number two, which I'm not going to let you gloss over,
Yeah.
that takes a warrior to wake up from that.
Sure.
Most people never do.
Sure. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. But I'm glad. The thing is, our life path is designed perfectly. And so I look back, I'm like, I needed those things to give me my skills to be of service now, because all these skills were originally for me, for ego. Oh, I'm going to be best at math. I'm going to be the best at tennis. I was number one on my tennis team. I'm going to be the best at things, all so I can fit in, so that they'll accept me, so that I'll get validation, all from outside the world. And so I think it was around college that I started feeling like this was like going to go on forever, and I'm going to never be content, and I'm going to be suffering on an endless rat race of trying to like be the best and fit in. And I was like, wait a second, you know, and I went through these different journeys, and even psychedelic journeys and things like that really brought me into like the meaninglessness of the world. Not of it being pointless, but the meaninglessness of the attachment to the world. And
So I get and love that deeply.
yeah.
For the listeners, can you go a little deeper
Yes.
if they haven't touched that?
So meaning that the world itself just is. No matter what, it's going to exist, whether we're here or not. And we often, our ego likes to think that we're important, that humans are important, everything's important, but the truth is, it's all just what we make up. It's our construct. It's what we're bringing to the table. It's the collective consciousness. It's like we're saying something is important, but it's only important because we said it's important. It by itself is neutral. Money's not good or bad. Things aren't good or bad. They just exist. They're neutral. It's our charge. That's why it's called currency. Currents. Electricity. The sea of currents. So when you're charging something, meaning like you're charging it with your beliefs, charging it with your mind, now it has a meaning. but inherently it doesn't have a meaning. So as long as humans recognize that we're the one giving it the meaning, then we're actually more empowered. If we believe it has meaning outside of ourselves, then we're actually now almost codependently a victim of a construct that doesn't exist, but we actually made up the construct that it has a meaning.
And you're in that one little statement.
Yeah.
Expose yourself.
And I want everybody to listen to this, because
So
that is really flipping the
all of our
script.
grandparents, all of our
Entirely flipping the script. Everything that we've been
forefathers, our
taught,
ancestors, and one
is
day
the
we'll be the
opposite.
ancestors of our
all the
future
way through
generations.
school,
We're in the upside down.
all of our knowledge
Everything's
base.
the upside down. The history is the upside down. Finance,
Look at the photo.
life, what's
That's it.
yeah, it's all the upside down. And so it doesn't necessarily
Who is the meaning maker?
right.
Right.
The spirit inside the vessel, and the spirit's wearing the vessel. So that's why we don't say you're not the body. You have the body. That's why we say my body. You say like my bag, my car, my body. So you just got to recognize like who is the mind, who is the person that's inside of that thing, and that's the infinite, right?
And do you have a soul, or are you a soul?
Right. It's the permanence
Right.
wearing the impermanence.
Right.
Life goes on forever, and our bodies are temporary, and our life is temporary, and this episode's temporary. And so these are just things that only, it doesn't necessarily have to change what we're doing, but it changes our relationship with it, which gives us a more
Which changes everything.
empowered
Right.
context.
Okay, cool.
And now we're
The
entering the
text.
same
Don't get your
space.
phone signed.
We could do the exact same things and have the
We're
same
doing
money and all that,
for
but it's now not
VIP
because I
for
have
the
to chase.
eating great
It's because
lunch.
now I'm
Guys,
empowered to make a choice. And from that choice, I can create impact. And then if it becomes a now a more divine choice, a more aligned choice.
It's awesome. I could do this all day with you, man. You are,
Yeah.
you know, just,
You go on.
it's not just the music.
Yeah.
And it is. That's the paradox.
Yes, yes.
Right? That's what you bring
Well,
to
the
your
music, again, like it was almost my own therapy. It freed me from my own mind. As you can hear, I'm very cerebral and heady, but these thoughts are coming from meditation and reflection, and I like these thoughts. I'm not against the thoughts, but I also would like to also be free from the thoughts.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm throwing the baby out with the bathwater. It means the freedom from the thoughts allows me to then, again, the same context, be empowered to use the thoughts as I need the thoughts, but be free from the attachment to the thoughts.
Right. We are not our
Yeah.
brains.
So the music helps with that. The music allows me to just like shut my brain off a lot. I'm very hyperactive Gemini.
And you help
and
everybody
so-
else too.
And then, yeah, I think through my own therapy, I hopefully it's rippling
not
out there.
hopefully.
Yeah,
Trust
yeah.
me. I was in that audience,
Well,
Deepak.
when I say hopefully, that means that's my hope.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're confirming that
got it.
it's
It
being
comes in
received, and
beautifully
that's a
and deep.
blessing for
Yeah.
me. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
And then my job is just to be, again, the first question is, why am I here? I'm here to serve.
Now I would like
How do
to
people
have my
find you?
friends-
Because I want
Yes.
people to listen to your music
Yes.
and get to know you.
So my name is Deepak, spelled D-P-A-K, no E's. So D-P-A-K, so Deepak World, all over the place, DeepakWorld.com, Deepak World Instagram, all the other socials, easy to find. I'm also Team Humanity.
Amazing. So,
You're awesome, man.
Curious,
Thank you for being you.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
Really cool.
I'll give you a sticker too, so you have it.
For all
Yeah, yeah, no.